And we are back, and this is episode 72 of the We Are One, You Are Two PlayStation podcast. I am your host for all 72 episodes, Rob Fanzo, joined once again by my co-host, partner in crime, and man in Chicago, Matt Rhodes.
Heyo.
How are you doing today, Matt?
I'm fantastic. I mean, not to, be a meanie, but I'm eager to finish this so I can go play some Rocket League. They have the new stuff out today, so I'll be grinding for some cassette tapes to get all their little accoutrements from the 80s. So that's exciting. How are you today, Rob?
I'm hanging in there. If I wasn't having tech issues right now, it'd be even better, but we're good. I'll figure it all out after. We're just going on the fly now. I got it. We're just doing it. So we'll take care of it afterwards.
Until you were like, we got to re-record because I messed up.
No. I think I'll survive. I'll just have to do something on my own, but we'll take care of it. So this is episode 72 of the We Are One, You Are Two PlayStation podcast. This is where we sometimes talk about a lot of PlayStation. Sometimes we'll talk with indie devs. Sometimes we'll talk about stuff that doesn't even matter. That's most of the time in reality. I do want to remind everyone, if you like what you hear, you can go rate us first and foremost on iTunes on the podcast part. If you like us, you can listen to us on Google Play, Stitcher, Patreon, Podbean, YouTube, pretty much every week, everywhere, Tuesday by noon. Earlier some weeks, if my life isn't crazy, I'm going to try and be more consistent. I've been pulling that off the last couple of weeks, though. We are consistent. And so I think we've earned your dollar. If you like us, go over to patreon.com/weareone, you are two. Help us keep the lights on and the mics up, and we'd be happy to continue doing this for you. And it's just $1 a month, you spend more than that on a coffee.
Yeah.
Matt, so we've got a great show lineup for listeners this week. We're actually going to give out our mid-year game awards.
Oh, snap.
But they're not the way you would think, because we're not doing the traditional best game we've played. We're going to do all kinds of crazy-ass stuff that we've come up with. You and I kind of did this independently, right? So you'll have very different awards than I will. I can see by just looking at the list that you have here, you're going to have very different awards than I will, but some of our games will overlap. So we're going to tackle
that's what's going to make it fun, Rob.
Exactly. We're going to highlight just a tiny bit of news, and then we're going to hit up the PSBLOG as always, because I believe that every game that comes out deserves a chance to be heard. Whether they're good or not is another thing, but they at least deserve their chance. And that's even more important, I think, in light of some news that came out this week that I just want to mention. We are going to be shifting the format of our podcast in the future, but we'll be tackling that when it comes. We're going to be focusing a little bit more on indies, since PlayStation won't, but I'll talk about that. And then we're also going to highlight and pick a new game. And we're going to also have some new games coming out. We do Metaquip sometimes. I've got another one I came up with this week, Matt. I've just got to do some research for it for you.
Okay. All right.
Lots of good stuff. Before we get into all of that, though, let's talk about what we've been playing, because I love talking about that, as always. Yeah. So, as is customary, I'll let you go first.
Oh, why, thank you, Robert. I have been playing Rocket League and Fortnite. Haha, surprise, surprise. I don't know if I've played anything else this week, to be honest. I've been kind of busy with work, so it's just it's so easy to jump into a couple matches of Rocket League or a couple matches of Fortnite and just, piss around for a half hour, an hour.
Yeah, that is the danger of something like that. It's so easy to get into that.
Yeah, and it's an easy time suck. I've been watching a lot of Netflix too, so that's been taking my time.
Anything in particular?
Well, Netflix and Hulu. We were doing. My girlfriend and I have been catching up on *Handmaid's Tale*.
I need to see that.
Just pretty awesome. I like it. It's good. And then I've been watching a bunch of just stand-up comedians and stuff on Netflix.
Okay.
Having a good laugh, good chuckle.
Good chuckle
fest.
That sounds good.
Oh, the one thing I did. Oh my gosh. I couldn't stop watching it. I binged the whole season for. There's a thing called Tornado Hunters.
You do.
It was
love
silly,
natural
but
disaster stuff.
My gosh, I love my natural disaster stuff. So yeah, that probably took up most of my. I would say that show probably took up more time than video gaming this week for me.
All right.
I couldn't stop watching. It was pretty pretty intriguing. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
what have you been playing, Robert?
I've been playing a lot, and I mean a lot, of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Oh, yeah.
Like, exclusively almost that all week long. The only other thing I did fire up was some Crash Team Racing.
Oh, you little dog, you.
What happened was I actually played with a couple of members from the Twitter community.
Oh,
believe
nice.
it or not. And so they asked me, if I was around, if anybody had Crash Team Racing, and I was like, well, if you guys all have it, I'll jump in and do it.
Yeah.
And so we played for about 2 to 3 hours, and it was good. I forgot how difficult it is. It is insanely difficult, and I'm doing adventure mode on medium, and I am having to. The rubber banding, I forgot how bad rubber banding is in it, but I'm having to spend like 20 minutes on a 2-minute race, so I'm doing like 8 or 10 times just to earn first place, so I can earn enough to unlock the next track in adventure mode.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so I spent some time on my own doing that. But a lot of Bloodstained. That game is just so good. It is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, like, updated, and it is... I love it. And actually, when we get to the awards, it has some of my awards for the mid-game year awards that we're going to do here as well. So
Sweet.
I think just exclusively those two. I didn't touch Metro. I didn't touch the Surge. I didn't touch Rocket League or anything else this week. I think it's just those two games. I did play finish Neon Junctions, which is like a little puzzler platformer type thing.
Yeah.
Moving blocks and placing them into places. I did finish that on my Vita. So that was the only other thing I did play.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds like it.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead then and move into the news. I'll cover just a couple of items, and then we'll move into our awards, and then we'll wrap up with see you soon.
Sweet.
Awesome. So this is the news, and this is, just a few items I wanted to mention this week. This one just broke today. Alan Wake, which I never played the original. Did you?
No, because that was an Xbox exclusive.
Yes.
And we're PlayStation guys, so...
Yeah, that is true.
I never had it.
Yeah, same here. I never really did purchase more than one console. I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Alan Wake seems to be ready to perhaps make its transition and maybe give us a sequel, because Remedy Entertainment, who you also know in August is making Control, actually purchased back from Microsoft Alan Wake.
Ooh.
They purchased it for 2.5 million euros.
Wow.
And the deal will be made between now and the end of 2019, and they'll get the title back. So my hope, fingers crossed, Alan Wake remastered for PS4 or PS5.
Yeah.
And then maybe give us, or maybe one of those things that they did with Fallout 4, I think it was, or I'm trying to remember which game it was. Maybe Alan Wake 2 comes out in like 2020, and then we can, with the purchase of that, you get the remastered original version of Alan Wake on whatever system you're purchasing it on.
Yeah,
so that would be real
sense.
nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And so we'll see what happens. I just saw an update on Push Square and said that it could bring Alan Wake to different platforms if we so choose. It was a quote from them. And so I'm sure they're fully...
If they so choose.
Yeah, I'm sure they're fully focused on Control. But if Control sells well, I think that's pretty much a tip to the hat that we should get Alan Wake.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine also, like, if they're going to do something with Alan Wake, if they're going to spend $2.5 million to get the rights back, or 2.5 million euros to get the rights back, they're going to do something with it. Mm-hmm. I would imagine. I mean, it would kind of doesn't make sense to not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Why would you buy that unless you're going to make a sequel, or at least port it over to other systems as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So that's good news for us. For you, if you are one console at a time kind of guy. The other piece of news that broke today was that the Witcher Netflix series got some promo images. I don't know if you saw these or not.
No, I didn't.
But good old Henry Cavill as Geralt is looking pretty good. I have to admit, the first image of him I saw, I kind of cringed, and I would have much rather had Mads Mikkelsen play the Witcher than play Geralt. But this new images, he looks really good. They revealed Yennefer, who is Anya Koloratra, I might be pronouncing that incorrectly. And they released an image of Ciri, who is Freya Allen. And I have to say, I think they all look pretty good. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of Ciri's look, but I saw several people on Twitter praising it. And so if they're excited, I'm excited. It should be out sometime between October and December of this year. It's going to be 8 one-hour episodes. And so I am super stoked. And I just want to warn people now, it is The Witcher, but it's not The Witcher video game. It is The Witcher from the books.
Yeah, of course.
And there are some big differences. He's younger. He doesn't have his beard. He doesn't have 2 swords. You know, there's various different... I saw some people complaining, like, oh, they don't even know what they're talking about. He has 1 sword instead of 2. Well, in the books... In the books, he only has 1 sword to start, so he doesn't, run around with 2 swords like he does in the game. So,
yeah.
But I'm excited about that. That's a little video game related news. And then there was tons of Sony news the past couple of days that I just wanted to highlight. There was a Wall Street article that I'm going to talk about in a minute. I'm going to save that for last because that's the one I kind of have a gripe with. But I also saw that Sony was looking to buy up new game development studios in preparation for PS5.
Oh, I bet.
And so a Japanese publication, Nikkei, as translated by Gamatsu, said that Sony is considering acquisition of the game development companies. And so they're looking to expand their portfolio here. So I think because of Microsoft, Sony's like, maybe we need to continue to be more aggressive.
That makes sense.
And so, yeah, I'm okay with that because I know they'll do well.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, what would be great is if they, since Remedy just got a hold of Alan Wake, if they went ahead and bought Remedy. Right?
Yeah.
I would
be interesting.
I would love to see that, but I don't think that'll happen. But that would be funny.
Yeah.
Because then, you could switch the exclusivity there.
Yeah.
They also apparently want to lock down timed exclusives for PS5. And so they want to make major deals with publishers to get the best possible position when it launches next year. And so they're focusing, I think, on having several major releases probably come out around the same time as PS5. And so it could have a killer lineup, I think, is the goal.
Wow.
Because you remember when PS4 launched, they had Resogun, they had Contrast, and they had a couple of indie titles, but they didn't have... And I think Killzone was the major launch title.
Yeah.
But there was nothing right away till a couple months later when Infamous Second Son came out. And so I think they're really pushing to have major games come out. And not that indies aren't important, but I think that they are pushing to have something like a Destiny type or a Watch Dogs type or a Horizon Zero Dawn type of game come out, not just from their first party, but from their third party as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is when we get Rocksteady's new game that's supposedly a Suicide Squad game.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's a launch title for PS5.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be, yeah. Or imagine if they could do marketing where they're like exclusive, content first on PS5, Rocksteady's Suicide Squad, whatever game.
Yeah.
So anyway, the big news that I just wanted to highlight and point out to finish up this talk of news today was Sony released or talked to Wall Street Journal, and they released an article, and it said several things that were kind of interesting to me and kind of bizarre and kind of nice, but also kind of weird. And so just to hit some of the highlights of this article, they did mention, according to the Wall Street Journal, that they felt that Kenichiro Yoshida, the company CEO, said that the PS5 is dramatically increased in graphical processing power and demonstrates why it's important to have a next-gen console, and that they're not worried about Stadia because they believe that is a mid to long-term threat, and they don't believe that the majority of people want a streaming gaming service right now. And so I thought that was a good point to make. I would agree with that. I think I saw a poll where 70% of people who they polled in a European poll that were gamers, 70% of them said they didn't care for a streaming console at the moment. They just wanted a physical console that, the local gameplay. And so that's kind of telling. But here's the other things that stuck out. They also said that the PS5 was a niche product aimed at the hardcore gaming market. They also said that Microsoft was its main competitor, which I can understand that. They also said that they welcome smaller independent studios or indies, but they believe that big budget titles are the games people buy consoles for, and that's where they're going to concentrate their efforts. Now, I don't know if does any of that stick out to you as anything weird in there?
No, not necessarily, but what do you think?
Well, I think it's a little weird that you sell 100 million PS4s almost, and you call PlayStation 5 a niche product.
Yeah.
Right? And
yeah.
I also think it's weird that you say that you're aiming for the hardcore gaming market with big budget titles, because those are what sell consoles. But your hardcore gamers also buy a lot of indie games as well. And so for them to say they want to focus on the big AAA games, I agree. Big AAA games sell a console. But let's be honest, too. Big AAA games also tend to have a more casual appeal. Right? Like your Spider-Man, your God of War, your Call of Duty, your Destiny. I would say that hardcore gamers play those, but I would also say there's a lot of casual gamers that play those too.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what they mean by hardcore gaming market, because I also don't think, if you said you were going to sell 10 or 15 million, I think that's a niche product. But when you sell almost 100 million PS4s, I don't know how you call that niche. Like, that's... maybe if you're comparing it globally to like the phone or the mobile gaming market, I could see that. But
yeah.
But I would say,
maybe they just think it's going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now a lot of people read niche and hardcore as it's going to be an $800 console, because they took that as it being expensive. Here's where I disagree with that. If they're aiming for all these AAA games, if they're aiming for these big publisher deals, if they're aiming for all these exclusive studios to make big games to come out with the PS5, and they're looking to have a strong launch lineup, we know where the money is. The money is not in the hardware you sell. The money's in the software.
Right.
And so I think Sony, because they're so profitable at the moment because of their gaming sector, I say that what they do is they still release the console at under $400, $399. They take a loss on every console they sell, but then they have an attach rate of maybe 2 Sony exclusives per console to start, and they make up that money within the first 6 months to a year from their exclusive games. Because think about that. If Ghost of Tsushima is a launch title, or if Last of Us Part 2, although I think it's still releasing in February, it would become a launch title. Or what else do they have big that's in the cards that we've been talking about? If I mention like the Rockstar, if they somehow get that to be an exclusive launch title, you make up the money on the software.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Horizon is a launch title. If there's a
Horizon
sequel to
2?
Horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, and think about that. Think about the success of those games, right? Think about how they sold in the 8 to 10 million to 12 million range.
Yeah.
If you sell that right off the bat with every console, you've made your money back, or you're close to it. You know what I mean? The loss you're going to take is going to really start to net on the back end of things.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I just found it weird that they said that indies were still welcome. And I'm not saying they're getting rid of indies. I think a lot of people overreacted to that. And I know I just questioned it on Twitter. I said, what are you doing with the indies? You're kind of pushing them aside, kind of like, oh, well, Nintendo can have those. But I think I understand their business strategy. I just think it's funny because I consider myself a hardcore gamer. I know I buy a lot of indie games, and I know you would consider yourself a pretty hardcore gamer too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you still buy indie games on occasion as well. Not nearly the level I might, but you still do. I mean, you bought Epic Dumpster Bear. You bought Timber Tennis Versus. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, those aren't setting the world on fire.
I think part of that has to do with the fact that we do the See You Soon, you know what I mean? And so I'm introduced to these games that are like kind of silly and, fun little indie things that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll spend my money on that.
Exactly. So I'll be curious just to see what happens, because it's interesting, some of the wording of that article. And so if you get a chance to go to the Wall Street Journal or any major gaming outlet and read it, you'll see what I'm saying. It's very interesting the way it's worded. So we'll see what happens there. That's really the only news that I felt was worth carrying through or talking about. There was a couple of smaller things that happened. Of course, your PS Plus July games, by the time you're listening to this, should be out. And they're Horizon Chase Turbo, which is so good. I hope people download that. Horizon Chase Turbo is very good. And then PES 2019. PES Soccer,
as most people call it.
Yeah. And so that's kind of a weird choice, I think. But
I'm kind of excited because that means I don't have to buy FIFA 2020.
Yeah, but it's 2019, so I guess if you're not one of those people who cares about, the yearly release.
And I do not.
Yeah. I'm excited because I like FIFA. I've played PES before. I'm not sure if I like it or not. So this would be a nice chance for me to kind of get into it and see if I really do like it better than FIFA.
Yeah.
But you've never played Horizon Chase Turbo, right?
Correct, I have not.
It is fantastic. It is very much. First off, it started off as a mobile game, and I don't want people to disregard it because of that. But it's an arcade racer, and it's like an early '90s arcade racer with its retro look and feel.
Yeah, like Cruisin' World and all those.
Yeah, but it's so good. I've sunk hours into that thing, and it's 60 frames per second. It's got 31 cars, hundreds of events, dozens of tracks. It's got like a global mode. It's really good. I actually probably will fire that back up now that I'm talking about it so much. It's one of those games I just forget about how good it is until I start talking about it. And then I'm like, you know what? I loved the time I spent with that.
I mean, I'll try it out for free.
Heck yeah, dude. It's really good. It's worth it. So that's going to wrap up the news.
Bye, news.
Bye, news. Thanks for stopping by. So, Matt, I think it's time. Let's get into our awards, shall we?
Oh, the mid-year awards.
I don't even think I need to put music in here now. We're just going to use that.
You're welcome.
Thanks. So we're gonna tackle these, and then we're gonna move into See You Soon, and that'll wrap us up for today. A short episode this week. Next week. It may be a little delayed coming out. We will have a dev interview for you that we're recording this upcoming week. It's a game that's coming to PS4, I believe, sometime later this year. And so we'll chat with him about that. And it looks pretty good. So I'm excited about that one. Anyway, cool. Let's talk about these awards. Now, you and I, there's no good reason to go about this. You just want to go back and forth and share some of them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because, it's not like some of our awards align because I gave you some ideas, and I'm sure that you and I probably have some similar ideas.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're going to be different. So I'll let you go first since yours are in the doc.
Alrighty. Up first, I have... What do I have? Hold on 1 second. I have... Best game that I finally started this year. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. Now,
it was really good. I'm mad at myself for not starting it earlier. But
and I told you it was good.
Yeah, you did. And I knew it was going to be good. I was excited to play it when I was like, oh, man, when I bought it, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a really good game. And I never got around to it until this year.
Now, did you finish it? Never mind.
Oh, Robert, you jokester.
I know. It's I'll tell you what though, what I like about it is it's an easy game to get through. It's challenging as you want it to be. And what I loved about it too is it's actually not a hard platinum at all. Yeah. It's one of those ones that if you take your time and go through it, you'll get the platinum. But did you play with headsets? Oh,
of course. Well, yeah, it tells you to do that with headsets.
So good. The sounds, everything. I might go back and replay that one just to experience it again. All right, so that's your first one?
That is my first one.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with, then, game that I keep thinking about replaying in 2019.
Oh.
And that award goes to The Witcher 3.
Yeah. I had a feeling.
I feel like every other week I'm like, honorable mention to Nier Automata.
Yeah. Okay.
But every other week I sit there and I go, I really just want to play this again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, with Cyberpunk coming out, there's all this stuff. There's all these articles about what they're doing with it and how it kind of is similar to The Witcher, or how it's different from The Witcher in a better way. So, there's a lot of Witcher in the news these days.
And the Netflix announcement, and I was just like, I never finished the 2 expansion DLCs. It's not like I wouldn't have new ground to cover.
Yeah.
It's not...
Surprise, surprise, I never finished the regular story.
Dude, it took me over like 200 hours to finish the regular story, so...
Yeah, I know, because you went Gwent crazy, searching for all the little cards.
I did.
Not that I blame you. Not that I blame you one bit. That was... I kind of want to just download it again just to play Gwent.
Yes.
But there is that standalone Gwent game, so maybe I'll just do that.
Yeah, and that has an expansion coming out too, which is making it real tempting for me to re-download that and play that.
All right, up next I have the game that I finally finished this year.
Uh-oh.
Dun 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 dun! God of War. Woo!
So good.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why when you finish a game like that, you're just like, why did I wait so long? And what's funny is I played it for like maybe 3 hours.
And that's all you had left, isn't it?
And that's all I had left. I was so mad. I was like, what? This is literally all I had to do? Yeah, it was very frustrating, but then I only had that much. But yes, very good game, God of War.
Oh, it is. And that ending is something else too.
Right?
It sets up for easily what could be a great arc if they do a trilogy of new games. That what you see on the wall, what Kratos sees on the wall that his son doesn't see.
Yeah.
Right? As a way to wrap up the trilogy would be fantastic. I would play through 2 more games just to get to that ending and see that happen.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it as a trilogy and maybe he's not even in the last one.
Yeah, so mild spoilers there, but we won't talk too much more about that. But so good. And you would feel the same way about Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. When you get to the end, you'd be like, why did I wait so long to even finish this?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so my next award is going to go to the most addictive gameplay loop game I've played this year. And so, we talk about gameplay loops all the time, about go and do this, and then it kind of starts over. And I know people complain about repetitive gameplay, but that's almost every game that you play.
Yeah, of course.
For me, and I think it's the pace of it and how quickly it comes back. It's going to go to Horizon Shift 81.
Oh, nice.
Because it's just so simple to get back into, and it's one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna play this for 10 minutes, and then 3 hours later I'm like, just one more level. I almost got through that level. I almost got through that section, Yep. And so just an addictive gameplay loop. One of my favorite indies I've played this year.
Yeah,
easily in my top 5 for this year, and so I would highly recommend that.
All right, I guess I don't know if this would be considered staying on the indie track, but my best nostalgia buy of the year goes to Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove.
Oh, very nice.
I don't remember much about playing that game when I was younger. I do remember playing it, but I don't remember if I ever owned it, but I had friends that owned it and I would play it at their place. But man, it's such a silly, fun game.
Yes, it is.
It is. I can't help but laugh like while I'm playing it. It can be frustrating and it gets harder and harder, but man, it is just all around silly, which is great.
Yeah, it's really good. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard good things about it, and I loved that game as a kid. My sister and I played that a ton. As a kid, so I would love to actually get back into that. Very cool. All right, so next up for me, and some of mine again, a little bizarre. Best game I haven't played, but should, because I feel obligated to play the others first, even though I don't need to.
Devil May Cry 5.
No, because I finished Devil May Cry 5, and I've played the other games, but that's a good guess.
Oh, that's right.
No, it just came out. It's Judgment. From the Yakuza series. It's a new protagonist, new storyline, nothing. It has nothing to do with the other 6 Yakuza games. So I wouldn't miss out on anything
No, of course
But
not.
I feel super obligated to play through the other 6 Yakuza games before I start Judgment, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it also kind of makes sense in my brain, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh, you hear that? You hear that, Robert?
I do. I'm not even going to edit it out.
Oh, man. Ambulance.
Yeah.
Well,
It must know it's the awards time.
exactly. They're blaring the sirens just for the awards. Nothing bad's going on out in Chicago here. They're just excited for the awards.
That's all. We asked them to drive by.
Exactly. All right. Next up for me, best game that I probably won't finish it until 2020. Days Gone. It's so good, and I enjoy playing it. But you know me, I'm going to burn out eventually in like 3 hours before I need to finish the storyline. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
That's hilarious.
I don't know why I do that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like because I burn myself out on it, or if it has to do with the fact that I kind of like I play so much of it. I'm like, oh, I got to be close to the end, but I don't want to finish it yet. And then I forget about it for like half a year. And then by the time I jump back into it, I'm like, where the heck was I? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the game I probably won't finish until 2020.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to continue that streak then.
Ooh.
Game I bought in 2019 but won't play until 2020. That award also goes to Days Gone.
Hey!
So it's gotten
Nice.
2 awards today. Because I know it's sitting here unwrapped on my desk. I bought it during the days of play.
Yep.
I was like, I'll buy a physical edition. It's $30. I can't pass that up. It's going to shoot back up to 50 or 60 after this because it's been selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
And so I better buy it. And then when I look at my backlog, I'm like, oh, it's probably going to stay in that wrap for another year.
Oh, that's awesome. Good times. All right. Well, Days Gone is about to have a partner with a 2 awards tonight. Next up for me is Best Retro Time Suck, and it's going to Horizon Shift 81.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're right. You're like, I'll just play this for a couple minutes, and then 3 hours later, you're like, what happened? Where am I? Am I oh, it's dark out now. And it's summer. It gets dark pretty late.
Yeah. It is. It's just so good.
Yeah. I just continue to enjoy it, and it's just like, wow. Well, I guess I'm not doing anything else tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because it's one of those games that I like to. If you want to talk about games that you warm up to, I'm like, I'll play this game to like get my reflexes going, and then I'll go play like Bloodstained, or I'll go play like Metro Exodus, and then 3 hours later, I'm like, oh well, I got to go cut the grass, and I didn't touch anything but Horizon.
Yeah, you like just warm up your reflexes enough to like get like one extra level with Horizon or something like that, you know?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Speaking of games that, and Matt's, pretty famous for this, so I'm going to add to this game I swear I'll finish this year and won't. There's several of them, I know, but the biggest one I think I have will be AC Odyssey.
I knew it. I was going to say that. I was going to say, I bet you it's Odyssey.
Because I swear up and down that I'm going to play that game because I love it and because I've actually made progress over the last 6 months with it. And it's a game that I know I'll fire back up. But the problem is it's so big, I probably won't actually finish it, even though I say I will.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you didn't finish Origins, did you?
I only played an hour of Origins, and I was like, I bought it, and then Odyssey came out, and I was like, which one do I start? So I fired up Origins. I played an hour. I was like, oh, this is okay. I wasn't really feeling. What was the main character's name?
I do not remember.
Bakik or something
Balak?
like
Balak, maybe?
Yeah, and then I fired it up with Cassandra in Odyssey, and I was like, she's so much more interesting, and then I never went back to Origins.
Yeah, I mean, she was a great protagonist for them, and I think, I mean, even now, had you have picked the guy, maybe you'd be like, go back to Origins.
Yeah, but it's hard to do that once.
Yeah. Cassandra was, I mean, the girl who did her voice acting was really good. She was very...
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Yeah. All right, up next for me, goriest gameplay. Did a little alliteration there for everyone.
I can only imagine what this is going to be.
I mean, everyone knows it's Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
Just the demented things that these guys came up with for this thing. Man, I love them for it. Because it's. I mean, some of them you're like, what? What?
Yeah.
My girlfriend's watched me play it like once, and she's like, "Don't ever play this in front of me again." She's like, "This is demented."
It's started to make me squeamish at times.
I was like, "Yeah, I get it. It is pretty. it's over the top." But it's Mortal Kombat 11. It's been out for how? I mean, they've been doing them for how long now? So they gotta keep topping themselves, I guess.
Yeah.
So
good stuff, though. Really
right.
Good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So let me see. Next up on my list here is I'm going to go with this one. Most likely never to be played that's in my backlog.
Oh.
Now this is different because obviously Days Gone I will get to, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Vampire.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And I know that came out last year, and so the fact that it came out last year and it's still in my backlog and it's still I haven't even fired it up says something.
Never gonna play it. Yeah, see, for me, that one year we went hog wild on Black Friday and bought a bunch of video games. Like for me, that was Borderlands 2 and LA Noire.
Oh, okay.
Like games that I got for like cheap. I was like, oh yeah, these are gonna be so good.
Oh, you never played LA Noire?
Nope.
Oh, you are missing out.
I think I've bought it twice. Like no joke. I think I've two different. I think I've bought it twice.
Wow.
And I'm just like, okay.
That's a shame. That's a good one.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. Yeah. I'm not disputing the fact that it's good, but I just never got to it.
Yeah.
All right. What do I got next? I have. Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm straying away from the consoles, Robert.
Okay.
Because this is the wave of the future, right?
Yes.
The handhelds, the phone games. That's the wave of the future. Consoles are obsolete. They're a niche market. Exactly. So I'm gonna go with the best Pokemon Go knockoff, Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I heard about this game, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. This is like it's like a cool Harry Potter game." And then I realized it's just Pokemon Go.
Oh.
With Harry Potter, I'm just like, boring.
I like that it's the best, and yet it's boring.
Well, I mean, it's the best knockoff. Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
That's true.
Because I absolutely have no interest in Pokemon. So I was like, Harry Potter, I'd play that. And I was like, it's basically Pokemon Go, but with, never mind.
All right. Are you ready for this next couple here? I'm gonna combine my next two.
Ooh,
because they are just
double dose.
They're just so good that I feel the need to combine them. Plus, they're actually from the same game, and so I'm gonna double dip here with the awards just to be fair.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so the first award, I'll read off the first award: best use of a cat in a video game.
Okay.
That's the first.
Okay.
That's the first award that this game's going to get.
Okay.
The second award this game is going to get is most ridiculous line of dialogue.
Oh.
And both of those awards go to Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. And just to give you an idea, I'm actually trying to pull it up now. In terms of the ridiculousness of the line of dialogue, I was looking for it because I tweeted it out and I said, "What is this? I can't believe that this is a real line of dialogue in this game." And some people said, "Well, there's several gems in there like this." Here, I'll read it to you. So you're talking to one of the other characters pretty early on, Benjamin, and he says something about you've been to Paris or about going to Paris. He goes, "Oh, Paris? Wow. I've never been to Spain. The name's Benjamin." What?
Yes, that is quality writing right there.
Now, I'm sure that's a reference to something that I'm missing, But the first time I read that, I was like, wait, oh, Paris. Wow, I've never been to Spain. The name's Benjamin. I thought, all right, I can do with this. And so,
I like it. Yeah. That's a good one for sure.
And then there's a cat enemy that I felt super guilty about killing, even though it had horns and it was shooting fireballs at me. It's a cat that takes up the entire screen. Like, it's as tall as the screen. And your character's like an ant next to it. And you have to, like, swipe at it several times. And it just looks so adorable at first. And then the horns come out. And it, like, shoots fire at you. And you're like, oh, I have to kill you now.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Alrighty. Up next, I have the best PS Plus free game so far.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Steep is what I'm going with.
Wow.
I know people are like, what? How dare you pick a downhill skiing/snowboarding game? How dare you, sir? No, I dare. Because it was very good. I would say that was probably the game that I played the most.
Okay.
That was free so far. I will probably play some PES. I'll probably put some hours into that, but I feel like I was going through the list of like games that were free this year, and I think that's what I've played the most is Steep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. See, if I had to pick one just off the top of my head from what I can remember, it would probably either be Horizon Chase Turbo that's coming out this month, or the Borderlands collection. I thought was a really good deal to get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't remember what else. I think you're right, though. I don't think there's been much else that I've wanted to play this year.
There's like The Witness, but I never got around to it, so I didn't want to like, I hadn't played it, so I was like, well, I mean, I want to play it. I know it's supposed to be very good, but I know that I was like really into Steep as soon as it came out.
I did play a lot of Onrush. That was free, right?
Yeah, Onrush. Yeah, we played that together a little bit, but you played that way more than I did.
Yeah, I really loved that. But that's interesting. Okay, good deal. Yeah. Good deal. Yeah. I like where we're going with this. Positive energy.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I've just got a couple more left here.
Yeah, I got 3 left myself.
Most frustrating game for me this year.
Ooh, frustrating. That's a good one.
And this is frustrating, I think, because of expectations. I think because of combat. I think because I love the first 2 was Metro Exodus. It got pretty good reviews. I think it's a great game in terms of the story and the atmosphere. But goodness gracious, do I hate the gunplay. Oh, do I hate it.
And isn't it a first-person shooter?
Yes, but it doesn't play like one. And that's the problem.
That's sad.
It is sad. That's sad. It hurts.
Yeah, that does hurt. All right, up next I got the best sequel that no one asked for. Literally, no one asked for this to be made. But they made it anyways. Rage 2, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's not bad. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. When I rented it, it was an enjoyable game. But I don't think anyone was like, "Oh yeah, Rage 2, dude."
I wasn't.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone was.
No, but they did it. And they did it very differently too, so kudos to them.
Yeah. Kudos to them. Hats off to them.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff. I like that one.
What else you got? Yeah.
All right. So I've also got most thumb blistering inducing game.
Oh, okay.
And it's because the other night my fingers hurt so badly that I was like, I'm making this an award. Crash Team Racing.
Oh.
My thumbs were killing me. And it's been a while since I felt like that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if I had to go with that same category, I would pick Horizon Shift.
Okay.
Because there's something about like the way I have to like hold in the fire button, but then also like, you know, kind of wiggle my thumb to jump. I'm just like, man, my thumb is weird after, like, feels like, you know, it's starting to get raw.
Yeah, that was runner up because I do remember quite a bit of thumb achiness with that. But
well, and that's just the nature of the game too. I mean, you're playing it for 3 hours because you just get sucked into it because you're having so much fun with it.
Right.
All right. What else do I got? Oh. Oh, this is a good one. I wasn't sure whether to do physics or mechanics, but I went with physics. So, best ragdoll physics.
Yes.
Trials Rising.
Yes. That is a good one.
It is so good. It's the physics when you ragdoll are just absolutely absurd. And for the most part, they want you to. You know what I mean? Like, they want... Because it's one of those games where you have to play the track over and over and over just to get right, just to get it exactly right, or, like, you know, to get, like, high level on a lot of things. And it's just so much funny. It's so much fun and so funny when you like tip over and you're just like, oh man, you've died like 4 times in a row or 5 times in a row on the same spot. You get mad. You start to get like just like shaky and like pissed off, and then all of a sudden you ragdoll in like the silliest way. You're just like, what is this game? What?
Yeah, that is
so.
Really
For
good.
as much as there's the frustrating aspect of it, there's such a hilarious, silly aspect of it when especially when you finish the race. Every finish line is set up to like explode your guy or like launch him into like space or like hit him with something. It's a wonderful end to the race.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun in a ridiculous way.
Yeah, for sure.
Good stuff. I like it.
All right, you got anything left?
I got one left.
Ooh, one left. Okay, go ahead.
I think I had one more for this, but I didn't write it down, so I'll try to remember it.
Okay.
But my last one that I have officially written down is the most unique game I've played this year.
Oh, unique.
And so that doesn't necessarily mean anything other than I really appreciated what it was doing.
Okay.
And I only played a couple hours of it, and so I want to really get back into it, is Darkwood.
Interesting.
Because it's a top-down horror game that has zero jump scares.
Oh, right.
It's just so creepy and so unsettling and so uncomfortable that I'm afraid to move across the map.
Huh.
Even though
there's no jump scares.
Even though there's no jump scares and nothing has really come after me in such a way that, like it's terror-inducing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's good.
All right, the last award for me, Robert. The final award this evening. The best online co-op that Rob no longer has time to play with me. The Division 2. He's got so many other games, folks. He doesn't have time to play Division 2 with me. So hit me up. Let me know. I need someone to play Division 2 with because he's busy playing creepy top-down scare games.
That Division 2 is so good. We got to get back into that.
It's so good. I know. I mean, I would love to get back into it.
I'm afraid to get back into it in some ways because I'm afraid it'll just suck up all my time.
Yeah. You no longer have time. So that's why I did it, Rob.
Yeah, that's a great game. Good note. So there's actually been several, I would say, very good games this year.
Oh, for sure.
And several games that I really, really, really enjoy that, we've gotten to. And some of them aren't always the games that have come out this year, right? Obviously, we rattled off several that weren't. And there are a lot of games that I'm sure are really good that we'll never get to, like Days Gone. But overall, I think a solid list. So that is the 2019 Mid-Game Year Awards.
Mid-Game Year Awards, everyone. Let's give it up.
For us, we are one, you are two.
That's right.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's wrap things up as we always do with see you soon.
See you soon.
All right. So this is the PlayStation blog for this week. We'll move into this and take a look and see what's dropping. Now, we are recording on a Monday, so these games are coming to you as soon as tomorrow. Ooh. Would you like to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'm going to let you go first.
Damn it. I knew you were going to say that. And I knew I was going to have to pronounce this one.
That's exactly why I picked you. Oh, good times.
All right.
Hey, these are your type of games, Rob. So I feel like you're better equipped to read off these ones. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't spread lies like that. All right. As Divine Dios. PS4, PS Vita, digital cross-buy. Among the many worlds the deities have created, there is one world that abounds with life known as Divine. But when the spate of disturbances erupts across the globe and an ever-spreading murk threatens to destroy it, Azoyai, the deity of As Divine himself, takes up his cause to save the world he created with his own hands. I know I butchered that.
I would have went with Izayoi, but...
I don't know. Azayoi.
Izayoi?
I don't know.
Izayoi.
If you know how to pronounce it, you can at me at Twitter.
All right, Brian Breaker. No, just kidding. Brain Breaker. PS4 Digital out 7.3. Are you ready to break your brain? While the kids are having fun with easy mode, master players can use different regions in your brain in insane mode. Choose from hundreds of backgrounds to create your own atmosphere. Playing 3 different games at the same time requires multitasking skills. Can you handle it?
Ooh.
3 different games at the same time? That's nuts.
I would love to see what that's like.
Yeah, me too.
All right. The long-awaited Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers is coming to PS4 digital and retail. Take part in the next saga of the critically acclaimed Fantasy XIV Online critically acclaimed Fantasy XIV Online with the next legendary expansion pack, Shadowbringers Journey, through expansive areas such as Ratka, Greatwood. Goodness.
Start this over. You are butchering this.
All right. Take part in the next saga of the critically acclaimed Fantasy. Take part in the next saga of the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV Online with the next legendary expansion pack, Shadowbringers. Journey through the expansive new areas such as the Ratika, Greatwood, Areng, Eel Meg, and Lakeland. Explore new jobs, new races, new cities, and more. Early access begins June 28th. I think
Yeah.
that this is the one that actually has 2B from Nier Automata in it.
Oh,
because I thought about starting up a game, and then I realized I have to put like 200 hours in to get to where she was. I was like, nope, not doing it.
No thanks. Yeah. I love how they had all those hard areas, and then the last one was like Lakeland.
I know.
Like all these like hard to pronounce words. You're like, what is it? And then Lakeland.
Yep.
All right. Up next, we got Ovivo. PS4 digital out 7.3. Ovivo is a mesmerizing platformer with unusual mechanics where everything is as simple as black and white. It is a metaphorical game filled with illusions and hidden messages. In the world of Ovivo, black and white exist in harmony. By constantly intertwining and replacing each other, they maintain balance. Ooh, so a very Zen yin and yang kind of game.
Now this next one has me curious, and if it's good enough, it'll have my attention. Paradox Soul, PS4, PS Vita, digital cross-buy. Paradox Soul is an exploration-based survival Metroidvania, that's why it's got my attention, that
of course.
Takes hand-holding and throws it out the window. Instead of spelling everything out for the player, the only way for Dr. Ollie Rose to figure out what's going on in a peculiar test facility is to descend deeper down the rabbit hole and figure it all out by herself. You are her only hope. I do want to point out this is the second game this week that talks about hand-holding.
Nice. I also want to point out that it's exploration-based and not expiration-based.
Oh, did I say expiration-based?
You sure did.
Oh, boy.
Exploration. That's okay.
This next one. Oh, this looks like a PS1 game.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, this is some interesting animation on the front here. All right, Scrapper. First Strike.
It's Scraper.
PSVR Digital. Scraper. Scraper? Oh, yeah, you're right. There's only one P. Scraper. All right. Scraper First Strike is the first episode of a planned 5-part VR sci-tech shooter with RPG and exploration elements. It will take the player on a journey through a new IP with fully developed characters, story arcs, and a world filled with unique and exciting environments.
That explains why that guy on the left, his head looks so photoshopped, because it's a PSVR game.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Sea of Solitude. Oh, I didn't realize this was out this week. I am so excited about this one. Have you seen this one?
I don't know if I have. Maybe.
It was revealed at E3 last year. It looks really good.
Cool.
When humans get too lonely, they turn into monsters. Set sail across a beautiful and evolving world of darkness and light and discover what it means to be human. Embark on nuanced and intimate action-adventure where players must guide Kay through her sea of solitude in this touching tale of darkness and light.
Cool. That sounds pretty cool.
It is really good looking.
Yeah. Alrighty, Stranger Things 3, the game. PS4 digital out 7.4, the same time as the series drops. This is the Season 3 drops for Netflix. Stranger Things 3, the game, is the official companion game to Season 3 of the hit original series. This adventure game blends a distinctively retro art style with modern gameplay mechanics to deliver nostalgic fun with a fresh new twist. Explore, solve puzzles, and battle the emerging evils of the Upside Down.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah,
Ooh,
sometimes I miss those old school, like, tie-in games, and so it's great that we're getting that back.
Absolutely. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Tour de France, Season 2019, PS4 digital retail. The yellow jersey is yours. The official route of 21 stages of the 2019 Tour de France has been reproduced down to the last detail and will take you from Belgium to the Champs-Élysées. You can also play online for the first time in the history of the series, challenging up to 3 other players in shorter, more intense races.
Apparently, Rob did not take French because it's Champs-Élysées.
Aw, touche. It's been 20 years.
It's okay. All right, last but not least, we got Will, A Wonderful World, PS4 digital retail. Become a god and help change the fate of people, even the world. In Will, A Wonderful World, you will receive letters written by characters living in urban cities. By rearranging the order and combinations of sentences in these letters, you are going to alter the destiny of whomever that wrote them. That's interesting, actually.
Yeah, sounds like almost like a Civilization type game.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting. All right, that's it. That's all that's coming out this week.
Oh, I know. What's your top this week? What do you think?
Easily Sea of Solitude. If it wasn't for Sea of Solitude, it would probably have been Paradox Soul, because it sounds like a great little Metroidvania game. But Sea of Solitude's easily my pick this week.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Stranger Things 3. I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna just buy that game because if it's a companion game, I'm definitely gonna watch the season 3 pretty much as soon as it comes out. I'm sure my girlfriend and I will just binge watch that, and I'll want to play the game.
Yeah, I played the first one. I think it was the first or the second one on my phone. And It was just real simple combat and collect and exploration. And so it was a good time waster.
Yeah.
And so if they do more of that, I could be down for that.
Sweet. Yeah, cool.
All right. That's see you soon.
That is.
And that's all for us.
That's all. Oh,
that's it.
Pretty quick episode this week, Robert.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Not too bad. Still an hour for you. Still gave you your hour's worth.
That's right.
For $1.
That's right. Because we had some good awards. That's why people were excited. So I know they're not mad about their hour's worth.
That's right. All right. Remember, if you like what you hear, you can find us on patreon.com/weare1you2. You can drop $1 our way. And if you don't feel like dropping $1 our way, drop us off a good review wherever you listen to us and share with friends and family. We thank you for your time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for getting to the end here with us as well. And we'll talk to you next week with our little indie dev interview. And until then...
Wait. Before you say game on, what is one of your favorite mid-game awards this year, anyone? Hit up Rob on Twitter.
Yeah, even just want to tell me your favorite game of the year so far.
I'm okay with that. So far, yeah.
And in the future, we're going to have a little conversation about outdated game mechanics. I'm currently having that conversation on Twitter as we speak with about 10 different people about the worst outdated game mechanics that need to go away. And so we'll cover that in a future episode. So if you have ideas, send them along.
Yeah, we'll take them.
Email me at weare1you2@gmail.com.
Yeah.
All right, until next time, game on.
Game on. This is the outro music, Mid-Game Awards, outro music show.
I didn't know you could get that high.
Nailed it.
I
wanted to give it like an 80s rock theme, you know what I mean?
It sounded good. I like it.